Hey guys, Caller here with the ace matchup of Lecaf versus Hanbit Stars. And Hanbit Stars giving Lecaf, which was the winner of last year's Pro League, a surprisingly strong run for their money here. In the fifth game here, we have Anytime playing again for Lecaf, and we have Zero playing again for Hanbit Stars. So Anytime played and defeated Free. Anytime played and lost to Free in Game 2, and Zero played against Jaedong and lost to Jaedong in Game 1. So, of course, they didn't know that going into this series. Basically, I think the Pro League teams have to choose their ace players before the before the series starts. I do believe that's the way it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, we do have the Zerg player Zero here spawning at the 1 o'clock position in brown, and we have Anytime spawning in blue at the 5 o'clock position. And this map is Andromeda. And Andromeda, of course, is a very macro-heavy map. I do like this map a lot. It really provides for a lot of interesting situations. You have your mineral-only expansion in your base and your natural expansion with gas outside your base. And I saw a very, very exciting game on this map. I believe it was this map on the GSI between Junie and Flash. You should check that out. Game 3 of that game. I won't spoil it, but I have to say it involves a proxy hatchery on a hidden location on this map that isn't present on most maps. It just would be impossible, and it's just an amazing proxy hatchery, a late game proxy hatch from the Zerg player Junie in that series. So I do recommend you check it out on the GOM TV, whatever it's called, the GOM TV Intel Classic series. And Nick Taste's plot is just such a lucky guy, being able to be in Korea and just do this, for a living. Get paid for it, just quite incredible there. I'm sure a lot of the SCGGG commentators wouldn't mind switching lives with them. And it looks like a token white guy with a token white girl on his neck. Interesting. And we're seeing sort of looks like a Bisu opening for Anytime there, building his pylon at the natural expansion, probably going to try to pick up that natural expansion. Ooh, and doing some good probe micro here, stopping Zero from picking up the better expansion with his first drone here. Actually, looks like a 12 Nexus might be going up here for Anytime. That would be a very brazen sort of move here, a very daring macro move, of course, that does benefit him. Look at this. He's going for 12 Nexus here, so getting his Nexus before any other buildings, before a gateway or a forge, and perhaps suspecting correctly that his opponent was going for a 12 hatchery. Of course, he spotted the 12 hatchery, so probably just knowing that he has enough time to get his forge up and enough cannons to defend against a Zergling push. And actually, no, a gateway going up here. A gateway going up for Anytime at his choke point. This is a really interesting variation. We have seen this also. And it is harder for the Protoss player to hold their front with this, but on the other hand, they are able to push up against the Zerg, preferably if the Zerg goes for a 3 hatchery build before spawning pool. But looks like actually Zero choosing to get his spawning pool next, so maybe thinking of putting some pressure on the front door of Anytime, and this is turning into quite an interesting game here. Excuse me, even though Zero did know that Anytime went for a 12 Nexus. Well, actually, I'm not sure if he knew beforehand, but anyway, he decided not to go for 3 hatcheries before his spawning pool. He decided to go for a 12 hatch plus spawning pool. He probably will get his third base, though, third hatchery at his natural expansion. Actually, no, he's getting it at a special location, at a 3 o'clock location. So going for a very macro game here. Very interesting location there for Zero. And wow, this game's already turning into quite a different, non-standard game between Zerg and Protoss here. Zero overall, by the way, is only 33% against Protoss in the ZVP matchup. Anytime is 58% against Zerg, so at least statistically speaking, he does have an advantage. Although from the openings here, I have to say it's both of them went for interesting openings here. Both of them went for very macro-heavy openings. Of course, looks like Zero will be able to get 4 bases starting right off in the beginning of the game here, so an intense macro opening here, and actually played out quite well with 815 here recently. 815 won a game going for a very quick triple expansion and just going crazy macro. This is known as the Sauron Zerg, where you really try to get as many expansions as possible and go for a low-tech build. And by the way, Anytime has no idea that Zero has that expansion at the 3 o'clock, although he probably knows that something is afoot here because the third expansion, the third hatchery went down so late inside of Zero's natural expansion, so he's using his probe to scout around the map, trying to find a hidden expansion of some sort, and he probably will spot that eventually. And looks like a fast lair going up for Zero here, so not going for, or perhaps he is going to go for the Hydralisk Den right now, but he really needs to get that Hydralisk Den up because he is going to be facing a lot of pressures from Corsairs coming up pretty soon. And we could be seeing Corsair Reaver on this map here because he's so spread out. Corsair DT would also work out well because, once again, Zero is just spread out here on the right side of the map, and that location at the 3 o'clock is going to be quite vulnerable to drops. Meanwhile, it looks like actually 2 gateways going up at the front here for Anytime, sorry. And actually no Stargate up for him just yet. Interesting enough. No, actually now finally putting a Stargate up. And I will be expecting a Hydralisk Den up, although Zero could be really interesting and go for a Spire first and lose like half of his Overlords, but have Mulisks out. But that is not the standard response here, especially if you're going Sauron Zerg like he is. And he has his Hydralisk Den up, so he is going to be prepared for the Corsair harass. So a late Corsairs for Anytime, and he's actually built a surprisingly high number of Zealots here. Perhaps thinking of doing a quick attack here at the 3 o'clock expansion. I guess that is the reason why he's decided to do it. And wow, bad micro by Zero, letting this probe run through. Hopefully he does intercept it and not just embarrass himself any further. You know, he had that Zergan contained at the front, and he's just happened to miss that one probe that snuck past like 6 lings. But anyway, it looks like this probe will get a scout. Wow, just very unfortunate for him allowing that scout in, and he is going to get an eyeful of this Hydralisk Den. So Sauron Zerg so far going for Zero. And it will come down to Jaedong looking intently at this. Jaedong, of course, ripped apart Zero in Game 1 on Katrina, and I wonder if Jaedong would be doing this right now, going for the triple expand. He might, actually. Jaedong, of course, is a macro beast, and really effective against Protoss players, although he might also be going for something completely different. We don't know how he would have responded to this. He might have gone for a faster Hydralisk rush off of just 3 hatcheries. Try to break open the front door or something like that. That could be one response to this 12 Nexus build. Anyway, though, looks like a good force of Zerglings and Hydralisks out, but a lot of Zealots in the front here, so I doubt any kind of cannon break is going to occur here. Especially because look at how small that choke point is. Although these Hydralisks, once they get ranged, might be able to start attacking here, and almost losing a Hydralisk there for no reason. Trying to get the Zealots to chase him. Meanwhile, Corsairs do have air control over Zero's base here, and Zero building a creep colony actually, so thinking of getting some defense at the 3 o'clock location. DT is out for Anytime, so Anytime going for the DT Corsair combination, and this could be very effective here, especially because I don't see any Overlords at the natural expansion of Zero. And, wow, if he doesn't put some Overlords there fast, although speed upgrade Overlords up for him, so good anticipation there, and Anytime might be intercepted here. We'll see if he gets intercepted. This will be very important to see whether he can get into, among the drones here. He does get 1 DT among the drones. It's already starting to get kills here. Wow, 4 kills already by that 1 DT, and it's now going towards the main here, and now the great chase begins, chasing after that DT. Another DT sniping off drones at the 3 o'clock expansion, so good micro here from Anytime. And looks like this is Zero's first person view. He doesn't have vision of that. Looks like finally he's going to get detection